You're listening to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast with Wendy Johnson, episode number 28.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast, where women come to be inspired and motivated to become the best version of themselves and elevate the quality of their everyday. Now, here's your host, certified life coach, Wendy Johnson.
Hello there, beautiful friends. Welcome to this 28th episode. I am excited to talk to you today about having a mindset with ease. And this is one of my favorite words, ease. Ease is not easy, especially when you're going through challenges and difficult times. But we have to learn to have ease despite those challenges while still going after big dreams and goals and embodying this feeling of ease. The problem I see, so many women and men feel burdened with their to-do lists, their job, family obligations, and the state of affairs of the world. And they believe their circumstances have to change to feel this ease. But I'm here to tell you that your external world doesn't need to change to feel better. And you don't have to abandon the discomfort or not feel the discomfort to have more ease and flow. And I've encountered this in my own life this past month. The end of August, we had a hurricane, and for a month, we had dust storms, and then we had another rain. We have damage, and outside is a mess. And I've had to manage my brain and what I'm thinking about with my environment. So I thought this would be great to share with you because this is something I've been working on again myself this past month. So today you're going to learn what you can do to have a mindset with ease. And I'll give you 3 quick tips you can use to manage your mindset. So let's start with the definition of ease. Ease is to make less painful, to lessen the pressure or tension. And I especially love this one, to free from something that pains, disquiets, or burdens. The opposite of ease is overwhelm, stress, heaviness, burden, pressure, and hurry. And every single one of those feelings is created by the thoughts in your head, never anything outside of you. Let me give you tip number 1, change your perspective. Changing your perspective isn't always easy, but it's the most important step to shifting your mindset. Think of it as the decision that creates a turning point in your life. Did you ever see the movie Legally Blonde? This was the number 1 skill of Elle Woods. Every time something didn't go her way or someone told her no, she adjusted her perspective on the situation, formulated a plan to reach her goals, believed in herself, and went after it. And you can do this too. We all can do it. While it's not always easy to feel ease, choosing to see your situation differently changes everything, which can be exactly what you need to create forward momentum. And the best part, it only takes a moment to change your perspective. And once you see the opportunities on the other side of that shift, you can't unsee them. It's like those 2-in-1 pictures where you see the old lady until you see the profile of the beautiful woman. Once you know both options are available, you can choose which one you want to focus on. And then in the future, you'll see the beautiful woman. I love this quote, one of my favorite quotes. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer. So that first tip was to change your perspective. And the second tip I have for you is to embrace the discomfort. The way to get into ease when you're in a state of resistance is to accept the resistance. So inevitably, when there's a challenge or you're setting a really big, scary goal, you're going to feel all of the discomfort. So you want to allow yourself to feel all the things. And my relationship with discomfort is changing. It's not something that's a big deal anymore. Something I still have to practice, as I told you I'm doing this month, but I'm allowing myself to feel the discomfort. This is part of the process. And I've actually learned to enjoy it more, to have it be something that I want to walk towards instead of run away from. And just by embracing the discomfort, can you see how there's more ease in the process? You can say words to yourself that will help to encourage yourself. You can say, I can feel more uncomfortable things. I can do hard things. It's all good. Doesn't matter what's happening around me. Nothing has gone wrong here. This is life. It's part of the process. It's living with the challenges and the ease all at the same time. And all of a sudden, just by changing the thoughts about the discomfort, you can get into a state of ease around it. And what many people do when the discomfort comes up is you want to get rid of the discomfort and push it away. You don't want to deal with it. And we all do this in different ways. We may go to the kitchen and eat. We may hop online and shop. We may bury ourselves in work. We may go out and exercise. And none of those things are wrong. I love to eat. I love to shop. I love to exercise. I love to work. I love to sit in front of Netflix sometimes. The problem is when we do those things to avoid the discomfort of change, that's when we have an issue because it keeps us stuck and we cannot get that momentum to move forward. And when I think of ease, I think of me just flowing down a river. I may hit a few rocks. I may make a few turns and bumps, but I keep moving forward. I keep flowing. And that's what I want for you to create. So for the first step in having more ease in your life is to actually embrace the discomfort that's going to happen when you set to create your life on purpose, because that's going to require that you change. And change is uncomfortable, but it's no big deal if you don't make a big deal about it and avoid it. And just by changing the thoughts about the discomfort, you can get into the state of ease about it. Let me give you some thoughts that are uncomfortable, that cause discomfort. Oh my God, this is so uncomfortable. I don't think I can do this. Maybe I should change my goal. Maybe I should move. Maybe I should take another course. I'm not ready. Maybe I should wait until all this is blown over. Maybe I'll just start at the beginning of the year. Maybe I'll do this when I feel better. The problem is when we do those things to avoid the discomfort of change, that's when we have an issue because it continues to keep us stuck and we still can't move forward. We're in denial and we're avoiding because we don't want to feel it. I love to ask myself and peek into my brain. Am I thinking thoughts that are full of ease, or am I thinking thoughts that are full of overwhelm and stress that create struggle? Notice what your brain is doing and don't judge it and don't beat it up. Just be curious about the brain. And these are the kind of thoughts that sneak into the crevices of our minds and they plant themselves and they start to grow and we really start to believe them. So what I want you to do is to peek into your brain and ask yourself, are my thoughts creating more ease or more struggle? And if you want more ease, the answer is to not go out there and rearrange the world or wait for the world to change. Let's begin by rearranging the mind. Tip number 1 was to change your perspective. Tip number 2 was to embrace the discomfort. And tip number 3, be intentional. By being more intentional, you create the mental and emotional space you need to be grounded, clear, and open. And to be intentional, you have to slow down and you have to calm your mind and you have to create empty space to think through things. You're able to consider options and outcomes you would otherwise miss so you can make the most of them. So what we want to do is insert more intentional practices into your day, and you'll find yourself winning more and celebrating more by being more intentional. So let's say you have a typical morning where you wake up and you hit the snooze button 5 times and you tell yourself you're tired and you're not ready to get up and you're already running late. So you drag yourself into the bathroom and you stand in front of your closet and you say, I don't have anything to wear again. And then you're late. So you're running out the door or you're running into your office and plopping yourself in front of the computer for your meeting. And you're not going to use video because you didn't have time to get yourself ready. And you just don't feel like it. You don't feel like presenting yourself to the world because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But if you were being intentional, your morning would look more like this. You would wake up excited for the day on the first alarm that you hear, or maybe you don't even use an alarm. You got the sleep you needed, you slept peacefully and deeply, and you prepped for the morning. You already knew what you were wearing. You slipped on your clothes that you laid out last night. You calmly had your coffee, maybe some avocado toast, and then you had 20 minutes to spare. So you wrote in your journal, you read a page in a book, and you're ready to walk out the door. No hurry, no running, and have a nice drive to work. Or you walk to your office and you're ready to be on video and present yourself in the best way. There's so much more ease with this type of attitude by beginning your day being intentional. And it's one that you practice it over and over again. And trust me, with the practice of this habit, it will start to become your default. So you change your method of getting there by being more intentional. So let's recap today. The 3 quick tips I have for you to end the struggle of overwhelm and live a life with more ease. Number 1, change your perspective. Number 2, embrace the discomfort. And number 3, be intentional. You can't be anywhere other than where you are. So why not go on in this moment and be present and make the most of it and be at ease? Feel free to subscribe to this podcast and share with family and friends that you think could use a little boost. I would sure love it. And tune in next week for your weekly dose of inspiration. I hope you all have a beautiful week, friends. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out More You, my community of like-minded women. We show up to create the highest version of ourselves and elevate the quality of our everyday along the way. Head over to ontraclifecoaching.com/join. That's ontraclifecoaching.com/join. I'd love to see you in there. And if you haven't grabbed your copy of the Mindset Makeover, head over to ontraclifecoaching.com/makeover and get a copy that teaches and inspires you to show up as your most extraordinary self.